Hello everyone, welcome again to you all. Now, we were discussing about all the other parts of three-phase induction motor. So, going forward, we were to start the fourth point. For receiving external electrical connection, the terminal box is needed. So, I have already told you a terminal box is there where all the terminal connections are put out. Okay. So, they are present there for any external electrical connection. Connection of the motor to any external load, or we can say any mechanical load which is to be driven. Okay. Next, there is a small distance between the rotor and the stator, which is usually varies from 0.4 mm to 4 mm, and such a distance is called air gap. Okay. All of you remember, the distance between the stator and the rotor is known as air gap. It is always very small with range from 0.4 mm to 4 mm. Next. So, here are the parts of stator. See, stator is consist of the outer frame, the stator core and the stator winding. First, the outer frame. As we know, it is the outer part of the three-phase induction motor. Its main function is to support the stator core and the field winding. Okay. Or we can say it provides mechanical support to the stator core and the windings. It acts as a covering and it provides protection and mechanical strength to all the inner parts of the induction motor. So, we can also say this frame holds the all inner parts of the electrical machine, and the frame is either made of die cast steel or fabricated steel. Second part of the stator is your stator core. The main function of the stator core is to carry the alternating flux. In the earlier semesters also we have discussed, stator core or field is always responsible for carrying the flux, which is known as the AC flux, alternating flux. In order to reduce the eddy current loss, the stator core is laminated. It is very, very important. The stator core is laminated in order to reduce the eddy current loss. These laminated types of structure are made up of stampings of silicon steel, which is about thick of 0.4 mm to 0.5 mm. Now come to stator winding. We apply three-phase AC supply to this three-phase winding. The three phases of the winding are connected either in star or in delta connection, depending upon which type of starting method we use. Let me explain this. Star or delta. When it comes to three-phase connection, there are two types of connections available for any three-phase device, that is either star or delta. And when it comes to motor or windings, depending upon which type of starting method we need or use, according to that, the windings are connected either in star or delta. Next. See, this is the whole stator winding setup. You can see these are the slots on which the stator conductors, or you can say the field, are placed. This is the whole 3-phase stator winding or 3-phase field winding. This is the stator core. This is the armature winding, total armature winding. This is the shaft, this is the shaft, and these are all the rotor conductor placed in the rotor slot, which as a whole makes the armature winding. So, the rotors are of two types. Depending upon the type of rotor construction used in the 3-phase induction motor, they are classified as first squirrel cage induction motor, second is slip ring induction motor or wound induction motor, or it is called phase wound induction motor. See, there are two diagrams. First one is the figure for squirrel cage rotor. This one is for wound rotor. Here, in case of squirrel cage rotor, you can see this is the shaft from here to here. Over the shaft, the total rotor or the armature winding is mounted. These are the metal rings. This is also a metal ring. We know all the rotor conductors. These are the rotor conductors which are placed nearly parallel to the shaft axis. Here is the shaft. Here are the rotor conductors. These rotor conductors are connected nearly parallel with the shaft axis. So, next is all the starting points and the finishing point. These two end points, it is short circuited by a metal rings. Okay. So, these two rings are known as also end rings. All the coils are short circuited here. This whole structure setup exactly look like a cage. So, it's named as squirrel cage induction motor, or the rotor is squirrel cage rotor. Now come to wound rotor. Here the difference is at the shaft 3 brushes are placed on which slip rings are connected, and the coils from the rotor are put out and connected through the 3 provided slip rings, so that any external connection can be made, or we can say external resistances can be added, okay, so that speed control can be done in case of your wound rotor. So, for cage rotor, it is housed on the shaft of the induction motor. It consists of laminated cylindrical core having semi-closed circular slots at the outer periphery. Copper or aluminum bar conductors are placed in these slots and short-circuited at each end by copper or aluminum rings called short-circuiting rings. Next, the rotor winding is permanently short-circuited and it is not possible to add any external resistance. Now come to advantages and applications. So, its construction is very simple and rugged, very simple and strong construction. As there are no brushes and slip rings, these motors require less maintenance. Coming to the application of the squirrel cage induction motor, we use the squirrel cage induction motors in lathes, drilling machines, fan, blower printing machines, etc. So, these are the field where we use the squirrel cage induction motor. And also we have already discussed, as its construction is simple, it is widely used for many other industrial purposes. Thank you.